Welcome to Ben the Menace. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today is not any different from any other day. Kelvin is trying to break record. My producer, it's like amazing, and he's such a. I got to tell you before I tell you anything. Kelvin is doing this. I'm not paying him, which he shouldn't even. He shouldn't do it. When you acknowledge that you're not paying someone to do something, that means they shouldn't even do it. And Kelvin is like, he's not intentionally, but unintentionally taking such advantage of, like, such crazy advantage of that, of the fact that he's not being paid for this. It's making me like, I'm so grateful to him, and somehow he's like, to what extent can I underperform? Can I do something that derails the podcast to where, like, he's actually someone who's getting a gift, someone who's having something done for them for free is mad. That's what this is. Kelvin has found a way to be negligent enough to upset someone who he's doing a charity project for. That's actually what this is. Kelvin, we agreed on 3 p.m. today for the podcast. And we are starting recording at 5:30. I literally, I had to go out and buy a microphone because we're about to have some guests on later. I was texting Kelvin. I was texting him a little bit before 3. Like, Kelvin said he was going to get a mic. He was like, yeah, dude, you're working? I'll get you a mic. No problem. I texted him and he goes, dude, I'm going to be late. And can you get the, it's like, how far behind are you planning on being? The point is, I lied to Kelvin and told him we were going to record at 3 today because I knew that we actually didn't have anything to do until 6 p.m. And we're right on time. So that's the problem is that I just created this boy cried wolf scenario where he knows that I'm lying now, so it's over. We'll never record on time again. But what I did was intentionally tell him 3 hours before, because I thought it would take him 3 hours to be on time, which is very late. I mean, it's absurd. It's also daylight saving time, and if you factor in a guy, one of the latest people I've ever met in my life, if you factor daylight saving times into that, it's just the guy's barely even going to be there. He's barely going to be there. I might have a full-blown meltdown today. I just got a new job that's like not only difficult but killing my ego. It's not a good job. I stand behind a counter at the farmer's market and sell people so many fucking things. This guy's stand has so many things in it. I don't even know where to begin with this stuff, but I stand behind a counter that has like soups and chicken. The guy's got the most cockamamie business plan. Let's just start with that. He's never going to watch this. He also told me that he's starting a YouTube cooking show, which he never will because it's Hollywood. That's how people operate here. He's like, I want you to help out with my YouTube cooking show. In Hollywood, that's translated as nothing. I have nothing. The Hollywood translation of someone going, hey, could you help out with my YouTube cooking show is I'm going to say something and let's pretend I never said it because we're never going to do it. I'm going to tell you about something that will never happen. That's what he's saying. So what was I going to say? The stand is preposterous. The stand is, he's the nicest guy. I mean, he's actually not even that nice. He's weird. I think he was in the military. I'm pretty sure this guy's got some form of PTSD. Did I talk about how he said he was an actor on the last one? I think I just told you on the phone. Yeah. Well, when he hired me, he goes, I want someone who's in this for the long haul. And I'm like, you mean you want someone who's in it for the long haul for your job that you listed on Craigslist as a 2-day-a-week position? He's like, yeah, I just don't want someone coming and going. I'm like, dude, it's not even close to a full-time job. People are going to come and go from this. I'm making an extra $400 a week. This is not a serious job for me. It's 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, selling his stuff at the farmer's market. It's chicken and waffles. It's chicken, what are they called? Well, he does sweet potato chips. He fries sweet potato chips, chicken wraps, mushroom wraps. He sells vegan soups. I've never heard of a stand like this at a market. He sells, nothing goes together. No two items make any sense next to each other. It's like, yeah, we make our own sausages and we sell tomatoes and also we make candy. It's like, who the fuck is going to buy any of that stuff? That's basically what he's doing. All these disparate things. It makes no sense. He's yelling it all out. He goes, vegan soups, chicken waffle. As he's cooking, he's trying to do a sales pitch, and I can tell people going like, "What did he say?" Vegan soups, chicken waffles, mushroom wraps, and everyone's like, does everyone have the same voice in this market, or is this guy selling too many fucking things at his stand? It sounds like 3 different stands. It's crazy. And he's going, Benjamin, engage the customers. He thinks my name's Benjamin because I applied through my email address, which is Benjamin Herwitz at Gmail. And then someone asked me what my name was, and I said Ben, and he goes, I've been calling you Benjamin. I'm like, call me whatever the fuck you want, man. I'm quitting this job soon. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. And I got tips today, and he goes, I don't really do tips. And I'm like, it's $4, man. I go, these are the tips. And he goes, yeah, I don't do tips. I'm like, it's a negligible amount of money. I could have just pocketed the money. He kept the $4. But he pays on every Monday, so I'll do this as long as I need to. I'll work these weekends until I hit another big, horse racing bet, which I did in September and then again in November. And I'm imagining I'll do it somewhere in April, and I'll quit. I mean, that's my plan. I'm not sticking with this fucking job. I told him over the phone that I was a stand-up, that I do stand-up, and he goes, "Oh, I'm an actor," so I get it. And I'm like, dude, you also 2 seconds ago you just told me you've been catering for 40 years. You're not an actor. He goes, "Yeah, I'm an actor." I'm like, "Well, not professionally. Do you think you do acting professionally? What world do people live in here?" My old boss at Equinox did that. One of my bosses at Equinox, my manager, I was in his office with him. And we're talking, and this is a guy who's at the gym 6 days a week, 9 to 5 every day. He lives at this gym. His whole job is this gym. And he goes, I'm an actor. I'm like, well, but you're not. Not actually. I understand that maybe you've tried acting and taking a class or maybe think that it would be fun to act. You don't act. So this guy's like that. Which is, again, a very Hollywood thing. You meet a guy who has like a 9 to 5 job that if he misses a day of it, he'll be fired. And he goes, yeah, I act. I'm like, well, no, that's not true. The delusion is astonishing. Like people move to LA and think they will make it, like something good will happen. And then they get a job and they think that they think it can still happen somehow. It's like you move to LA, you're like, I'm going to be an actor. This is amazing. You fail, you get a job at the Bank of America, and you're like, and then someone asks you what you do professionally. You go, well, I act. It's like, I just saw you at the bank, motherfucker. Like, I know that you don't act. But that's the level of delusion here. It's amazing. Also, this selling stuff at the farmer's market, it's, I get there at 7. We're going all day. It's like people are ordering so fast I can't even write down the orders fast enough. Yesterday, the tally that I had, because I'm documenting it by hand, all the numbers that we have, the sales. We compare that to the digital sales or what's ever processed. Yesterday I was off by like a couple $100 or maybe more, and. Yeah, I was like, here's what we got for sales, and he goes, well, here's what I just calculated. It was like a $200+ discrepancy, and I go, well, so we have to recount. And he goes, no, that's good. What? That's fine for him. He doesn't expect it to be accurate. It's crazy. I go, well, yeah, this is wrong, and he goes, yeah, all right, let's move on. And then today he was like, he looked at the numbers and he goes, oh, you're only off by $8. That's good. I'm like, what a world do you live in? But it's because the orders are coming in so fast, it's physically impossible to accurately tally them. But why even tally them at all? What's the point of it? I don't know. Just count the fucking money at the end of the day. What are you doing? Why do you have me taking all these notes for no reason? You can count up the number of containers and potatoes that you have at the beginning of the day and then subtract it. You don't need to have me tallying things as spoiled Beverly Hills people are yelling out their orders, expecting me to just completely absorb it and process it, whether or not I heard them. Someone's standing 15 feet to the left, and they're like, chicken and waffles? And I go, well, and I'm with another customer. I'm with someone who I'm having a conversation with about what they want, and someone goes, yeah, I'd like a chicken and waffle. I'm like, is everyone your slave? What world do you live in? No one, they can't form lines. It's just disparate. This guy almost started crying because his order took like 20 minutes. It's unbelievable. And we were in Santa Clarita yesterday. It would be pretty easy for you to guess the difference. No adult men cried because their order didn't come out fast enough, because they're regular people with regular jobs. In Beverly Hills, I'm pretty sure that none of those people have ever even clocked in for a job. Somehow it's a city full of someone else paying everyone's bills. No one who lives in Beverly Hills is paying their own bills. It's an exaggeration, but I'd say it's like 70%, like essentially like welfare from the wealthy. Some kid, like, I actually would love to know the percentage of people who live in Beverly Hills who have what's it called? A trust fund. That'd be mind blowing. I bet it's like 50-50. Trust, not trust. And they're great. No, they're not. I mean, they're pieces of shit. They are. I worked at the farmer's market for a bunch of pieces of shit. And I didn't know that the farmer's market takes EBT. So yesterday we took EBT at the Santa Clarita farmer's market. Like, people gave us EBT cards. Cool. That's fine. I use EBT. It's a little secret. I lie, I didn't fully lie because I have no money, but the government gives me some money. Yeah, it's cool. And then today, guess how much EBT we got at the farmer's market in Beverly Hills? 0. Yeah, my boss was looking and he goes, well, yeah, there's no EBT. We're not getting an EBT today. We were like doing the tallies for EBT. So it's not a fun job. I haven't got up at 5 a.m. 2 days in a row since I was in high school, I think. But it's an impetus to get some sort of online work, get content writing. I've been turned down for hundreds of content writing jobs, but it's an impetus to keep doing that, to keep applying, and gamble, and otherwise be very smart with my money. Cause it sucks. Yesterday I did it and I was like, this could be fun. This is like, it's something to do. It's engaging. And then day 2, I was like, I'm going to fucking quit. We're halfway through it and I'm like, how do people do this shit? But I'm going to keep, I got no choice. I'm going to keep going at least for a couple months. I'm working at the farmer's market in preparation for my wedding, to save money for my wedding, kind of. The second we get married, we're probably moving. My plan is to move to New York in June or July. If we can do it in May, that would be awesome too. So I'll fucking work for this Jamaican dude until it's time to move. It's actually good preparation for New York because there's a lot of Caribbean people in New York. Very few in Los Angeles. So I'm hearing an accent that I'll hear a lot more when I move to the East Coast, which I'm not going to do. You're probably thinking, oh, do it. What do you want me to get canceled in a position where I can't get canceled? Do you want me to get canceled? You want someone using footage of me going, come on, man. Come on, Benjamin. That's not even what he sounds like. Benjamin, chicken and waffles. Down by the sea. No, he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. And I'm not going to do that. You know what I just did? I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so that's it. That's the new job. It is what it is. And there's something good that will come of it. I don't know what that is yet, but there's something good. I mean, money is really what's good. It's a lack of sleep, man. That's the thing. If the market started at 10 p.m., oh my God. What a joy that would be. If it started at 10 p.m., I'd be happy. But then, yeah, you might have to correct me today because I'm not really on my A game. If it started at, can we do it? Can we cut that, Chris? Can we cut that? And you know how I said 10 p.m.? That's going to mislead whoever's listened for 20 minutes. No, people listen. Not many, but some. Let's change it to 10 a.m. You got that, Chris? I promise you he won't edit this. The Oscars are coming. More important than my farmer's market job, which is completely unimportant. The biggest movie award show of the year is happening today, and no one is watching. No one watches anymore. Jimmy Kimmel's hosting it. What is this? I bet you today someone turns on the Academy Awards and goes, "Is this a rerun?" This doesn't even seem like it's happening in 2023. He's hosted too many times. I guarantee you it will be boring. But I have watched a lot of the movies, and I've been doing movie reviews. So why not rapid fire off some movie reviews? We're actually running a little low on time, so I'm just gonna go. I'm running and gunning. Thank you. Yeah, Kelvin said, Kelvin, you can use a mic for that. Kelvin is one of the only people who's nervous when he's off camera. His eyes are like darting around. He's like, they should get Ricky Gervais. I'm like, who are you embarrassed to be talking in front of? Me? I'm the only one who can see you right now. There's no one here. He's right though. If Ricky Gervais really should just, his job for the rest of his life should be to host every show. He should host everything. I'd prefer it if he hosted instead of James Corden. You know, have you watched the James Corden Late Show? We have a British late night host. Fuck that. Get rid of that guy. Just let Ricky Gervais host that. Let him host the Oscars. Let him host the Golden Globes. Let him host the Writers Guild Awards. It's just going to be better. And we'll get bored of him, but not as bored as we are of Jimmy Kimmel. It just won't happen because he's going to lash out at everybody, say crazy shit. You can't take anything away from him. He's basically as untouchable as Jerry Seinfeld. He's been so successful in TV that you can take nothing away from him. So he can say anything. And Jerry Seinfeld would never say that stuff. Ricky will, though. It'd be great. You know, he calls Tilda Swinton an albino. He calls, calls Mel Brooks a kike. No, he's not going to do that. But he'll say some crazy shit. He's not going to use slurs, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun to watch him do that. I don't know who's fat in what. I don't know if there's any fat people in any of the movies, but he'll call them fat. So-and-so is Melissa McCarthy's a fat piece of shit, but she's not even in any of the movies. But he would say that, which is fun. The Oscars won't be fun, but maybe tonight we can do the Ben Herwitz Oscars. That's what this is going to be. Can we get a little banner? Chris won't do this. A little banner. Guys, welcome to the Ben Herwitz Oscars. And just imagine a banner. Little clap. Movie of the year. Hands down. It's not even nominated. This movie isn't even fucking nominated, and it's the best movie of the year. The Whale. Which, that's the one where Chris would, or where Ricky Gervais would call a person fat. Because the guy's 800 pounds in the movie. So good. If you haven't seen it, it's the best movie of the year. I cried. Not just from laughing at the fat guy. I cried. Not tears of joy, tears of tears. Tears of sadness. It's fantastic. Great performance. He will win Best Actor, too, by the way. Matthew, what's his name? Why am I blanking on it? Brendan Fraser. The Mummy. Thank you. The guy from if you're trying to think of the name of the guy in The Whale, don't. It's the guy from The Mummy. That's his name. That's what Kelvin just said. Brendan Fraser will win Best Actor. For some reason, the movie isn't nominated for Best Film because they got inundated with movies this year. They nominated fucking Top Gun for Best. It's not the best movie. It's the highest grossing movie. It's not the best movie. But they want people to watch. So they did that because everybody watched Top Gun. And nobody watched The Whale because it's good. That's how movies work. When it's really good, no one watches. And when it's really bad, everyone watches. When it's made for someone with the attention span of a toddler, the world watches. And when it's made for someone who wants to read while they're watching the movie, I'm the only one in the theater. There's a couple other It's me and then a bunch of people who I look like I'm about to beat up in the theater, like the most nerdy people on the face of the planet. The Whale was fantastic. It should win every category it's in. It should definitely win Best Actor. He's the main guy. He's in every scene. Maybe the reason it's not nominated for Best Film is because it only takes place in one room. It's actually like this podcast. You could even call this podcast the Whale of podcasts because it's one guy in a room who can't get up for some reason. I can't stand up. If I got really fat during this podcast, would people watch? Maybe. You know, The Whale, the movie no one tuned into. What if I made The Whale the podcast where I'm just like panic eating, like anxiety eating all the time and just get turned into an 800-pound man? I think people would actually tune into that. People watch my 600-pound life. Would they watch my 600-pound podcast? You just order like 7 pizzas. I'd be happy to do that. I need help. And then I could do virtual reality stand-up from this seated position and then die of a heart attack or a stroke in about 2 years. I think that'd be fine. That's what happened to him in The Whale. It ends with him, just dying of high blood pressure. That's the end of the movie. I'm going fast. Megan, I don't think it's nominated for anything. Maybe special effects or something like that. Performances. Ronnie Chang is a comedian who I think is a very funny comedian from Singapore. Not great in the movie when he's not yelling, but it was fun to watch him in a movie. He's not an actor. He doesn't really know how to act. Fun, but he's good when he yells. Otherwise, the actors are horrible, but the special effects that they did and like what they did to make it's a robot that like kills people. Basically, it's like Chucky, but 2023 with a robot. The stuff they did with that is fantastic. Very scary, very good. On Ben's 5-point movie scale, I give that a 4 just because the robot thing was scary and good. I thought it was great. For what it is, it was great. Not well written, not well acted, not good, but scary the way it's supposed to be scary. It did what it was supposed to do. It didn't lie to you. Let's see. The episodes of The Last of Us. Hey, The Last of Us, could you stop doing gay vignettes, please? Every episode is about fucking gay people making out. It's like, what happened to the zombie? Is this in the video game? Is the video game like a softcore gay porn? I have no problem with gay people. Gay people are so normalized in society, we can say this now. It's like, I don't even think this is interesting. Have it be about a trans person or like a fucking, something new, a non-binary. Like, change it up. It's boring seeing gay people make out in a zombie show. So that's my review of The Last of Us. I give The Last of Us a 3. Too many vignettes that happen to be about gay people. But it's not a coincidence. You're pandering. You want people to like the show. You want people to not be, you don't even want people to like the show. You want people to not be able to hate the show, which is fucked. Just make a good show. Don't make a show that we're not allowed to hate. And good night. Let's see. Tar. I watched that last night until a driver crashed into an electrical pole by our apartment and the electricity went out. But I watched it until the electricity went out. It was crazy. We heard a thud and the electricity just died because this guy smashed into a pole. What's her name? Cate Blanchett is fantastic. As I do these movie reviews, there's going to be a lot of what's her names because I don't know anybody's name. Cate Blanchett is fantastic. She should win Best Female Actor, possibly. I think it starts very well. It's a very well-made movie. Fantastic dialogue, great editing, great lighting. It's just like they know how to. It's about a conductor, and they know how to use the absence of sound to help the sound of the music. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful film. And I thought it was a biopic. I thought it was about a real person because I don't know any composers. As the movie's going, I looked it up, and it's not about a real person. It's about a fictional composer. And then by the end of it, it's a little on the nose with the Me Too bullshit. They say that she's like anti-Me Too, and she's like, you got to do it yourself. Don't pander. You're making excuses based on race. And then she turns out to be a bad person. I really liked what led up to her. I liked what she was saying. And then it's like, if it was it's a fake biopic. And I was like, I think he could have made it. If it's fake, you can make it more interesting. Sorry about the burp. That was sweet potato chips. I just burped. I think the ending could have been there could have been more to the ending. And I didn't see the very, very ending, but we almost got there. I just think you got a little lazy toward the end, Hollywood, but overall, very good film. I'm going to give it a 4.5. Just if you're if it's a real biopic, it's got to be what really happened. I thought it was a real story because I don't know the modern day Beethoven. I don't know who the fuck that is. It's not a real story. Make something crazy happen. It should have morphed with Megan. It should have turned out the composer was a robot, a bloodthirsty robot ready to kill. But you know what I'm talking about. The interesting version of that. Like she's not gay. She's faking being gay so people like her. You know, who knows? Think of something. Think of something cool. But there's a million cool things you could do that and when you say that, it's because maybe there isn't anything cool and you can't think of anything. But I bet there is. I bet there's something that's one of those people could have thought of. Pinocchio. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Beautiful. Great. Oh, Tar. I'll give it a 4.5. 4.3. It's good. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio I thought was very good too. Let's switch this to a GPA scale. 4-point scale. I think that's actually a better scale because then you actually have a reference point. So fuck the other ones I just did, but I'm not going to redo them because we have no time. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, I'm gonna give it a 4.8. I thought it was great. I thought it was dark, but it was still a kids movie. The goal is to make a more honest kids movie based on the real story of Pinocchio. I'm assuming the Italian one. The kid dies. Again, if you want to be brought to tears watching basically like a Disney movie, like a kids movie, this is the one to watch. It's like Bambi. Someone gets shot. Not actually, but it's good. Good vocal performances. The animation is beautiful. It took them 1,000 days to animate it. 1,000. It's insane. And no one cares. If you had used other technology to do it, no one would know the difference. You wasted 1,000 days. But it's a beautiful film. I give it a 4.9. Sorry, we're doing a GPA. 3.9. Almost an A+. Finally, we watched Women Talking. This is going to be my last one of the day. Women Talking is the first 15 minutes is a 4.0. Beautiful, well shot. They're cutting well. They're using voiceover effectively. It's a cool fucking movie. Whoever made the movie knows how to make movies. And then it just becomes this pandering piece of garbage. In a Mennonite town in Bulgaria, there's a trans woman. It's like that didn't happen. That's not real. And they're all accepting. I'm like, no offense to trans people, if you come out as trans in a Mennonite village in Bulgaria, we don't hear from you the next day. You're fucking dead. Seriously. It's not funny, but it's true. They're not like, oh yeah, let's get her some overalls and dress her up like a dude. Hey, cool. Good for you. No, she's dead. Done. Or at least told, stop dressing like that. The very least, they go, well, you can't, whatever that sounds like in Bulgarian, whatever you can't do that sounds like in Bulgarian, maybe like, they sound like dogs out there. So Women Talking, first 15 minutes, 4.0, entire movie, 2.0, almost a failure of a movie. It just fell apart. I thought the casting was great. A lot of the performances were good, but it's not a full movie because it's a puff piece. It's a piece of propaganda. If you want to say something about feminism, try to say it honestly. And as a man, I'm probably not even allowed to say that, but that's what I think. This is going to be, I think, the episode. Maybe we'll do another cut or something that we can cut in later. But for now, thank you for watching Ben the Menace. Good night and Godspeed. Thank you.